that is what happens, and you get a lot of really cool stuff that results in that. But anyways, we do have a really good set coming up. Something that you could easily see on the other end of the bracket, but instead we're seeing it in losers eights, and that is going to be WebbJP versus Zane.
Actually,
yeah, really good.
Now we were talking a little bit about Stan Luna's appearances in loser side, in grand finals a couple weeks ago. I believe this was Brands not too long ago as well, just a couple months back. May well have been within the same season, actually, now that I think about it, Chris. And it was Zane versus WebbJP. And if my memory serves me correctly, Zane wound up taking this in about 9 games in Brands.
You know, I feel like that does sound familiar. I was trying to remember where we've seen Zane before, because Zane is crazy good with this duck hunt. Had a little bit of a struggle in winter semis against the power of Stan Luna, but that's understandable. But I mean, make no mistake about it. Despite all that, like they win tournaments for sure with a character that isn't really known for their prowess, really, on the tier lists.
Yeah, I mean, look, you would think that Wi-Fi would benefit duck hunt greatly, and indeed, it kind of does. At the same time, maybe not as much as you might think. So, whatever the case may be, they're more than happy to come right back and try to prove themselves again at the expense of WebbJP, who again is not just a really good Lucas, it's also turning into a pretty nasty ZSS.
Yeah, I think the ZSS, I talk about it every time I see it, has made so many strides and has really stuck in a lot of those moments where, oh my god, that could have been the end for Zane, but it wasn't. So anyways, yeah, so a lot of these sets that end up being really close, a lot of these like the famous WebbJP Game 3's last hits that he used to clutch with Lucas, you're starting to see some clutch coming from ZSS, and I think that is probably the most encouraging sign of someone taking up a character. And oh, here we go. Clay pigeon combos.
So, okay, I will make a correction on something that I said earlier on after this game ends, but right now it is WebbJP kind of at a disadvantage. But yeah, you can't really count out the can you? Those are some pretty explosive beans that are just kind of hanging out in there. And Zane right now hanging on with a decisive numerical advantage. And I guess it doesn't really matter if you can move around like ZSS can. If everywhere you go, there's the potential to have a can of beans just kind of explode in your face.
Yeah, that's the thing I was saying earlier when I was watching Zane, is like that can, and especially as bad as like Duck Hunt's recovery is, like that can really can cover very well, and it has so much versatility and so much just use. And it's just right on cue, just as I was mentioning, that can covers a lot of things, and it's if you are a Duck Hunt and you know how to use that mechanic, like you're at a pretty good pretty good advantage. I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and this sort of lockout play has been a thorn in the side of WebbJP thus far. Is able to get a second stock. More cathartic than anything at this point. It's going to take a little bit to get this damage built up. At least from the neutral standpoint, you may be able to win this, but Duck Hunt can get kind of low if you want to, and really under no obligation to entertain your short hop nonsense if you're WebbJP. So how is it that you're counteracting this? Because you're getting the damage built on you pretty quickly, and those cans can find you relatively easy.
Yeah, they can, and a lot of times you don't even see them coming. They just sort of just inch to you, but other times they get thrown right back at you. So Webb's still hanging on here. Still very much doable on his end.
Yeah, but
in fact, oh my god,
wait a second.
That was it.
Oh, that was that. I don't know if that would have killed. Duck Hunt is deceptively has a little bit of weight to them, if we're being completely honest. Maybe not super heavy by any stretch of the amount. Bowser, they are not. Still, you know, you got a little bit of weight to you. But the can, again, you thought that you had the play in mind. And Zane tells you, oh, buddy, you have no clue. You just don't know.
Yeah, good stuff from Zane. Hanging in there, because that was a pretty close game pretty close game one against, you know, what is now a very solid ZSS. But yeah, watch the way that Can covers. Can's too good. It's good. It's a good move.
Yeah. And yeah, you see the replays right there. It's just goes to show the quality that Zane is capable of. Now, I did want to issue the correction, Chris. Zane did wind up winning Season 7, Week 5 against Enzo. It was a Grand Finals reset that, and again, Enzo sweeping it 3-0, and then breaking out the K rule in the reset. Zane won that in 5 games. However, 2 weeks in a row, Fusion 41 and 43, they entered, and they won that. And in the grand finals of that one, Zane beat WebbJP by a score of 3-0. So I kind of mixed it up a little bit there. I do apologize for the error. I regret it. But going right back to the action, game number 2, Zane certainly looking for another piece of the Tri-State Trophy cabinet to get filled up. Could very well be at the expense of WebbJP. However, this ZSS has other plans in mind.
Yeah, man. The gunman taking a total shot for Duck Hunt there. I don't know if you saw that. Probably saving his life. But here we go. We'll see if Webb's able to find a way in. I feel like Webb's looking a little bit, I was going to say looking a little bit cooler and more comfortable, but that F smash is probably going to make him very quickly uncomfortable.
Yeah, but that's Zane, isn't it? You think that you have a character that's red hot right in front of you, Zane puts them on ice. And that's just how practiced they are. They can control the momentum of a match so very easily, it seems, just with their gameplay.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a tough thing that's a tough thing to negotiate if you are ZSS, where you have a Ferrari engine and you want to use every last bit of that speed, but what can you do against something like Duck Hunt?
Sometimes it is really tricky, just because it's such like an unusual, like it's such a unique character with so many like unusual situational things that happen. And yeah, even that can exploding in Zane's face not gonna be enough to take the stock. And Webb needs something quick because this is getting pretty close to elimination for him. There we go.
There you go. Yeah, that plasma whip off the stage, and maybe that's a clue because we saw something kind of churning in the mind of WebbJP late on in the game, in the first game, trying to utilize that Zera to provide a little bit of separation and maybe neutralize the effect of the potential effect of Can. I don't know about that, but it does kind of check out, doesn't it? Can does have a little bit of an arc to it. It's not really going to go flying straight into your face. So whatever ground that you do have to make up between you and the dog directly, might as well do so with the plasma whip.
Yeah, absolutely. It seemed like a really good tool in this matchup. And oh my god, the vortex here of WebbJP is unbelievable. So we got to see what looked like a really down game for him, now turning into something really impressive. But Zane is not going to let him go too far ahead here. Really good play by Zane.
And now WebbJP trying to reach out with the tilt. Does well to get that the flip kick. WebbJP in the blink of an eye takes game number 2. Kicks the Can out of existence. And with that out of the way, no worries. All you have to do is flip and let it fly. Well done, WebbJP.
That was crazy. That was, what a comeback. That was insane. I'm going to run all of those back. I was too busy trying to reload or put in these replays where there was some crazy stuff that happens almost immediately. And this is exactly what I was talking about with a WebbJP's sort of basically just fortitude in some of these sets. Will go down or will go even and then just makes these ridiculous plays. Yeah, and this was Zane returning. Believe, yeah, the up air, and then yeah, let's see how this ends. Duck Hunt at 23%, 34.
Yeah, but this is where the jump is. It catches him with the whip, and then the flip kick pops him up, spikes him down. Bad dog, no biscuit. Now, maybe I'll let you get the rematch. Decides not to run it back, instead opts to go to Battlefield. And yeah, I kind of get the wisdom of that, but at the same time, if you get caught on that top platform, if you're Zane, you've brought yourself into a world of trouble.
Yeah, this is, and I know exactly what to expect here because this is the same thing we get to see week in and week out. WebbJP, and I said it earlier this set. These game 3 last hits. I won't be surprised if this is another one. It's just the question is this the one he wins or is this the one he loses? Because this is the type of opponent that is like very much grand finals worthy in Zane.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This is the sort of thing that can catapult a winner's side, a loser's side run. Zane trying to take back the momentum of this set, maybe slow it down a little bit. Couldn't tell with the expeditiousness of that expedience rather of that stock, but nevertheless, you're seeing WebbJP perhaps trying to be a little bit more cautious. You have platforms to deal with now. You can't really get those flip kicks maybe as easily. It's not going to stop WebbJP from trying, but you definitely have to extend out a little bit farther in order to get them. The duck is going to carry you as far as they possibly can. The air dodge will do the rest. Zane trying to get back to a manageable position, still with all 3 stocks that can in a decent position to do some damage. And yeah, if you're WebbJP, you have so much to calculate right now. Zane is trying to maybe provide a bit of an information overload.
Yeah, and this is where you start to see all the crazy stuff on the screen from Duck Hunt, and finally going to get out the Plasma Whip. Was looking for that Plasma Whip a little bit earlier, definitely needs it. Really not a moment too soon. Currently down that 100% marker. That is a stressful place to be in a Game 3 situation, on the user side especially, so I don't know, Zane's going to keep things in control.
Oh, the gunman is going to try to... I didn't think that you could go through gunman quite that easily, but I suppose maybe Duck Hunt's edge guarding would be even more well regarded if you couldn't. So, well, nevertheless, WebbJP going to fall victim to the can yet again. That is just that is absolutely furious. Good luck getting Zero Suit Samus to recycle after this thing, but yeah, you full hop over and double jump, in fact, over the edge guarding attempt of WebbJP, who again has their gun fully pointed at the ledge. What else can you do if you're Zane but just kind of hop on over it?
I really, really like the way Webb is playing around this can. Sort of just, you know, maybe an F tilt here to get rid of it. You saw an up air off the ledge to clear the ledge before. Really heads up play, and I feel like really good adjustments. I know that Webb has probably played Zane a lot of times. Wow. Look at this, got a fresh start on this last stock, just as the prophecy is foretold.
Yeah, one stock to settle it between these two incredibly fine combatants. Tournament life on the line for both of these individuals. You know, it doesn't always have to be fair, but the paralyzer right to the dog and puts them down. WebbJP, again, the paralyzer shot. You need to be ready for that, Chris, or else you will be made to pay by WebbJP.
Man, that was really kind of expertly played. I don't really know what else to say. Webb kind of brought that back, dude, and Webb... And it said this too, like usually these are the sets where you would see Lucas come out to sort of save Webb's bracket life, but now we just see the ZSS go in and steal games like this. I don't want to say it was a stolen game, quite honestly, but like the comeback factor of ZSS is pretty insane, at least as I've been seeing it from Webb. I know it's also Webb as a player, but sheesh.
Well, they started that stock both at 0%, and you're going to see it right here. This is where Zane lost the second stock, trying to get cute with the recovery. Teed yourself up for the back air, to be completely honest. And here's where it started at 18%. Gunman goes down, paralyzer, pop him up, and then right into the flip kick. What else are you going to do? I see you wincing yourself, Chris. You can't hide that. It's that's a tough way to lose one. Zane is going to exit in loser's side top 8, but what a way to go out. WebbJP, that was not Zane losing that set. It was WebbJP earning their spot.
Webb turned up. That was amazing.